Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I am David. Welcome to our home.
We know that you've read about our story and saw pictures, so we want to show you a little bit more about who we are. So we'd like to give you a tour of our home.
So let's go.
We're in the living room now, and this is where David and I usually hang out after a long day's work, either reading, watching TV, or just relaxing in itself.
We bought our home about a month before we got married. We knew that this would not be our last home that we would buy, but it could be the home where we could start a family. It was just the right size to grow a family. First came Rocky, our four-legged furball cat, and now we're looking to have a baby.
When we moved in, we didn't have much to start with, but over the years we've purchased furniture to make it a home. We like to involve both old and new furniture, so it gives the house a little character, and hopefully when the child comes we will be able to bring in other things such as toys and furniture and clothing for the child, because we do that with Rocky. We make sure that Rocky has a spot in every room in this house to make him feel at home. So the same will go for the baby.
Yeah, Jackie's really good at incorporating both of us when decorating this house. From my favorite football team to books that I read to her flower arrangements and pictures that she's taken over the years. She really makes this house our home. We want our home to be warm and inviting for when our friends come over to visit and for anything else prospective child.
So that's it for this room. Let's move on to the next one. Hi there. As you can see, we're in the kitchen and we are joined by Rocky. He's always around no matter what. I think he loves being with his parents, interacting with us. But it's not a large kitchen, but it's just right for a small family such as us. Dave and I both love to cook, and usually during the week we alternate who cooks what for dinner and who cleans up as well. So it all depends on our schedule. But the one thing I remember the most growing up is being in the kitchen with my mom, whether it was cooking or baking, mostly baking as a kid. But I learned a lot from her, and even to this day I'm still learning from her. Last year I actually learned how to make her turkey stuffing, so I think that's a good point. Bye. A good point in growing up is spending time with your family and learning things such as cooking and baking. One of the things that I hope to pass on to our child is that same thing, because being around people you learn a lot, and I hope to pass those types of things on to the child as well. We have 5 rooms in this house, but I think the next one will be a most important one that you'd want to see, so let's show you.
We are now in the second of our 2 bedrooms and that we wish to bring the baby home to.
When we decided to adopt, we knew that there could be a chance we'd bring the baby home within a short period of time. We knew that the spare room and my scrapbooking room would be the nursery, so we wanted to paint it before the baby would come. So we needed to think about the colors to use. Not knowing if we were having a boy or a girl, it was hard to determine. But the one thing I knew I wanted in this room was the picture behind us, a picture of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. It was a picture my mother had growing up, so it was probably about 80 years old. Then it hung up in my sister in my room growing up as well. So when we started to paint the room, I asked my mom if we could use it. So here it is, hanging up above the crib.
Like other rooms, Jackie used old and new things. I have loved to read, so there are several kids' books in this room that Jackie had growing up that I will most definitely use to read to the baby during its lifetime and bring along the joy of reading.
Also in the room are some of my old stuffed animals that my mom kept, like this one, Brownie. My dad passed away when I was 8, but the only few memories I have of him is our love of bears. Don't ask. It's hard to explain, but he and I had this connection with bears, and whenever he'd come home from a vacation or a trip from work, he would bring me a bear such as this one. And there are a couple more in the room that he'd given me over the time.
We have painted this room and refurnished a couple of cabinets that we have now. We had a friend who was getting rid of her daughter's crib and changing table, so she sold it to us. Jackie has done a great job incorporating the picture in the stuff that we have already. There are still some things that we need to make this room complete.
And the baby is one of them. We know it's a hard decision for you to make right now, but we always want to raise this child knowing that they were adopted and that they were given up so that we could have a family. I know I was adopted at a young age, so I would hope to do the same thing with this child because we want to know where they came from. One of the other things in this room is a poem that I found years ago called Legacy of an Adoption, so it's framed and hanging over in there in the corner. We hope you've enjoyed the brief tour of our home and got a peek into our daily surroundings. We hope that this will help in your decision to select us to raise your baby. David and I have so much love to give and so much to share with them, so we hope this video helps. Thank you so much.
Thank you.